I think it's time to head south.
Just because we're not having problems doesn't mean that other boats don't have problems. Anything can happen to anyone.
Just coming through Nickajack Lock, we officially lost an hour. Our 215 nautical miles side trip is almost halfway done.
Hi, we're Jen, Elliot, and Ollie. In 2019, we left the United States and backpacked through 11 countries, all before deciding to come back home and try something completely new, pivoting into boat life. Our current adventure is America's Great Loop, a 6,000-mile journey through small towns, big cities, and the wilderness from the eastern portion of the United States, through the Great Lakes and Canada, and down the Midwest rivers, all aboard our home on the water, Pivot. Make sure you subscribe as we share our journey through the highs, lows, and everything in between.
We literally have ice on the boat this morning, or frost, or whatever this is from Florida. I don't know what you call that. Crazy.
I think it's time to head south.
Turn on the generator to check. 49 degrees. It's too cold, I think. Jennifer's in a hibernation.
We'll warm up the boat for a little bit and then start our last day on our side trip to Chattanooga. We're gonna have a beautiful day, cold but beautiful. And we have one lock, the Nickajack Lock, and after that, we're supposed to be going through the Grand Canyon of the East. So let's pull up the anchor and get underway. Heater going. Jennifer out of bed? No. No, not yet. We might just try to leave this anchorage without Jen. This will be my first time ever doing a solo, so. Jen's up and she's helping from the helm now. Love you. Forward. That's it. Forward. My fingers are icicles. Good morning.
Oh my gosh. I came out here to film some B-roll of some of the fog. What I did not expect was for there to be like frost and a little bit of, I don't know that it's snow, I don't know that it's not ice, but frost, I guess, all over everything. Over this, over our handrails, over the decks, everything is covered with frost. I feel like we're doing this like trip to Chattanooga like a week late. It is what it is, oh well. But holy cow, oh my gosh.
up ahead is Nickajack Lock and Dam, which is the final lock for us coming to Chattanooga. And one thing that is good to know is when you're traveling through these locks, you need to tell them what direction you're going, right? And sometimes it can be kind of iffy because you're winding through a river. Is it north? Is it east? Is it south? Is it west? What you normally say is if you're traveling upbound or downbound. Are you traveling up the river or down the river? For us, so far on the side trip, we've been traveling up the river, so we always say we're traveling upbound, and they know that they need to get the lock to bring us up. And the other thing that's kind of, you know, you might know already or you might not, is that red is always on your right when you're traveling upbound. So it's red right upstream as well as red right returning. And so red will always be on our right going to the side trips so far, and it'll flip on the way back.
I get lost looking in your eyes, a little shook up at the sight of you. It gets me every time. And when I'm swimming against the tide, you're throwing me a line, you're pulling me back to you.
I think one of our friends were here.
Oh, they sure were. Rhonda and Eamon. And their dog Alfie, the adventures of Looper Dog.
Was that your friend? Did you meet Alfie before?
Yeah.
Yes, you did. The sound of the water coming up through these grates is kind of like as if the grates were sinking, but obviously it's not, the water's coming up, but it's just such a weird sound and sight. The last log had the same thing. It's so interesting. Our flag has been through some stuff. Oh, man. That's how you know we're doing it right. How's it looking? Good looking?
It's great. Yeah, nice and smooth. No problems. Just because we're not having problems doesn't mean that other boats don't have problems. Anything can happen to anyone. And sometimes there's stories of these like getting caught and then not moving up. And there's stories of, you know, like boats hanging off the wall and they have to cut them. And sometimes if the boat owner isn't gonna cut it, the lock staff has to cut your line. So there's just, it's very important to be very mindful.
Yeah, it's going well, but it doesn't mean that we're slacking off and not watching it.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Jen has it S around the cleat, not tied off as we're going up.
Yeah. Just because it's going well doesn't mean that we're in the clear yet.
Let's release the lines.
Alrighty, we're off.
Just coming through Nickajack Lock, we officially lost an hour. We're back in the Eastern time zone. All of Alabama is in Central time zone, and now we are basically at the Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia border. So just off the starboard side is Georgia. Dead ahead and then to port is all Tennessee, and behind us is Alabama. So it's the acronym of this region is called TAG.
It's kind of funny how windy our route is to get to Chattanooga, obviously, because we are in the valley of on this river going to Chattanooga, but it'd be so much quicker just like in a straight shot obviously, but like it's going to take us several hours. It would be so quick in a car or something like that. But you know, if you want to travel fast, do not travel by boat. And do not travel by trawler, but specifically do not travel by boat. I am absolutely loving these views. I cannot get over how big these mountains are that we are cruising next to. So the valley continues to go down further into the waterway, and so we're cruising right now in 48 feet of water. Earlier it was like 50, 60 feet, but it is so beautiful here. I kind of wish that we had gotten here a little bit earlier in the season so we could have seen it in full colors, full autumn bloom, but that's okay. It is what it is, and I'm still enjoying it though. It is so pretty.
That area was beautiful. It wasn't quite as like intense as I was expecting in the Grand Canyon to the east from what we've heard, but it was absolutely gorgeous. Just the cliffs and the hills and the narrow river. It was awesome. Now we only have a few more miles left to Chattanooga. We are almost there. And really this side trip has just gotten more and more and more beautiful. We are really excited to get to downtown Chattanooga. What do you think, Ollie? We just saw a road sign going to Atlanta, which is where we're from. It's our boat's hailing port. This is probably the closest pivot has ever been and will ever be to Atlanta. Its home port. Wild.
So cool.
So cool. We can see Chattanooga just around the bend. Our 215 nautical miles side trip is almost halfway done. We're almost halfway done. Woo!
Practically the whole riverfront in downtown Chattanooga are all part of the same marina. So we are going to the aquarium dock, which unfortunately is the only dock without a gate, but fortunately they have 30 amp power.
Pivot,
So
pivot, rival 16.
And there's Rival.
We're in Chattanooga. We made it.
We made it.
By boat.
By boat.
Our boat.
Wow.
We got ourselves here by boat.
Yeah. We have power. Well, sunset came very fast, like it's been doing these days, so we're gonna go check out the Lucky Leprechaun, which is just a local pub. We're gonna meet another couple loopers there that we have bumped paths, but haven't actually like got to know them yet, so that should be fun. A neat little green space area where the aquarium is, which is basically right across the street from the docks. Hopefully they have some pretty neat water features. All turned off for the season. In fact, the water is turned off at the docks as of, I think, yesterday or something.
Cheers.
Right. We had such a good time getting a couple beers with Chuck and Carrie, and we made it to Chattanooga. Tomorrow we're gonna be exploring Chattanooga. We don't actually know our full plans. We actually might continue going to Knoxville, so that would be amazing. But thank you guys so much for watching. It should have been such a beautiful side trip, and I'm so happy that we've done it. There's always that bit of trepidation when you're deciding to start the side trip because it's so many miles one way, gotta go back, but whenever you come to the end, everything is worth it. You never know what's coming in the future. Life is meant to be lived in the moment, and we're happy that we came here in the moment. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Now, we don't have a thermometer anywhere in Pivot, but our AC unit does tell the temperature. So we can turn that on and see what it is. Or not.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Ollie, did we do good?